You want to be wealthy. You have the ambition. You see the life you want, but you're tired, you're busy, so you tell yourself a simple lie: I will do it tomorrow. You assume wealth requires exhaustion. You think getting rich means grinding 100 hours a week. Most people think laziness is the enemy of wealth. But that's not quite right. And the real answer is completely backwards. Because in the game of money, laziness isn't a flaw. It's the ultimate competitive advantage, if you use it right. In every other area of human existence, effort equals results. If you want to be stronger, you lift heavier weights. If you want to learn code, you study for more hours. We're wired to believe that movement equals progress. But the stock market doesn't care about your biology, and it punishes people who try too hard. Finance is the only field on earth where a complete amateur doing absolutely nothing can consistently beat the smartest professionals in the room. We know this for a fact. Look at the data on professional hedge fund managers. These are people with Ivy League degrees. They work 90-hour weeks. They build complex algorithms. And over a 15-year period, more than 90% of them lose to a basic S&P 500 index fund. They lose to the laziest investment on earth. An index fund requires no research. It requires no trading. It requires no effort. You just buy a tiny piece of the American economy and you go to sleep. You do nothing, and doing nothing makes you richer than the geniuses. But there's a catch, and honestly, this is where most ambitious people fail, because this lazy wealth machine requires a fuel source, and that fuel is time. Consider Warren Buffett. People endlessly study his financial intelligence. They study how he reads balance sheets, but they're studying the wrong thing. At the time of this video's release, the mathematical reality is that Buffett's net worth is about $85 billion, but $84.2 billion of that has been accumulated in the time since he turned 50 years old. Buffett isn't just a good investor, he's a good investor who started when he was 10 years old. If he had started at age 30 with the exact same skill and the exact same rate of return, his net worth would be 99% lower. You would have never heard his name. His secret wasn't grinding harder than everyone else. It was giving the math time to work. And this is why your procrastination is fatal. To form what we call compounding wealth, you need the one asset you can never buy more of. When you say I'll invest tomorrow, when you say I'll start when I make more money, you aren't just delaying an action, you're physically destroying the math. You're burning the timeline that allows laziness to win. You're forcing your future self to work 10 times harder just to catch up to the person who started today and did nothing, which raises an uncomfortable question. If you know exactly what to do, and you know that doing it requires almost zero effort, what are you waiting for? Are you actually ambitious? Or are you just addicted to the idea of success, while quietly destroying the only timeline that makes it possible? You don't need to try harder. You don't need to be smarter. You just need to start right now, and then you need to be lazy enough to leave it alone.